Hello beautiful people and welcome to the best video when it comes down to showing you all the possible tips and tricks for you to prepare for the gathering day, because the mightiest governor but also the mightiest empire, both of these fantastic events have a gathering day, so why not prepare properly in order to get the highest upfront advantage, as especially when it comes down to the mightiest empire, those daily prequests have some pretty awesome results. So let me show you first my March setups when it comes down to gathering, and I have a very strong reason to do that. So this is the March number 1. I have here 192 gathering speed. Let's have a look at the March number 2, which has a gathering speed of 164%. March number 3 is actually my weakest one, and there is also something extra when it comes down to this March, how to get it full. I'm going to explain you this in this video because it only has a 59% gathering speed. Then I have my 4th March, which has also 162% gathering speed. And obviously my best March right here has 262% gathering speed, which is absolutely crazy. Now, why I have shown you this? Because I'm fully aware that the vast majority of the players do not have 5 setups like I've shown you here with such a high gathering speed overall with all 5 marches. Therefore, you have to prepare maybe 1-2 days extra than me. And how are you going to do that? Well, first of all, have a look at this. You see, this march here has a march capacity of 138,580 from 106,600. Very weird, huh? Have a look at this. March capacity 134,680 from 103,600. This one is the same. This one is also the same. Roughly 31,000 units more. And when it comes down to this one, 146,380 from 112,600. Meaning in other words, yes, I have used a March capacity buff, which is, in this case, I've used the purple one, which gives me an extra 30% March capacity because it's very simple. The more units you can have in a March, the more resources you can load on them. Because if we have a look again at my setups, this one can bring home 20.5 million. This one can bring home almost 20 million. This one can bring home almost 20 million. Also, this one can bring home 22.3 million resources. And have a look at this crazy one. Can bring home 32.2 million resources. So the March capacity plays a massive role. But you can go a bit more crazier and use a couple of gems if you have them by accident. So what do I mean by that? Now, you don't necessarily need gear on the farming heroes, but where you have to pay attention is actually the helm and the boots, because here you can see this gem over here. It's only 2% gathering speed, but it doesn't matter if you have a smaller one, as every little bit will gonna help. And when it comes down to this piece of gear, you don't necessarily have to bring it at level 10. All you have to do is go to your PvP marches. And for this, for example, let's have a look at my Mulan and take that gear off, as it's definitely gonna be at least level 10 for a lot of players, and take certain gems off and put that gathering speed. But there's another gem which also gonna help you, and that's exactly this one. The unit capacity, because again, the more units you have in a march, the more resources you can load. So these are the 2 gems if you want to go crazy. I personally haven't done that. So when we have a look at my marches, I already added up everything together, and I'm going to have all these 5 marches load at the max with resources and bring these marches home once the gathering stage for the KVK will gonna start, and this is gonna bring me approximately 116 million resources upfront advantage, which is huge, beautiful people. Now let's talk specifically about this march, as it has a very low gathering speed, and you can imagine it's gonna be pretty difficult actually to get 20 million resources loaded in 1.5 days from my perspective. And what I did is I attacked one of my farms, and you can see it here, and I took roughly around 16 million resources already on that march. But here is the problem with this tactic, because this has also worked at the beginning of the Mightiest Governor event. AKA you can loot resources from other castles, and that will count as gathered resources. But that was fixed very, very fast in the Mightiest Governor event. Therefore, do not rely 100% on this tactic, as most likely, I'm pretty sure this will also gonna be fixed for the Mightiest Empire, aka for the KVK pre-stage for the gathering. So the way I've did it, because I have this very high gathering speed capacity, today in the morning I waited for the Wonder contest to start. 1-2 minutes before I was allowed to use the air dock to go over there on that external map, I've used this extra March capacity. Now you don't have to use a purple one, use whichever you have. And the good part about this is that the Wonder contest does not last exactly 1 hour, meaning in other words, I have plenty of time for my marches to come back after the event, because it's an awesome one. And I strongly recommend you guys to play it and switch to a certain hero setup for gathering. And I strongly recommend you guys to pay attention and do some math and see how long does it take you to fill a certain march, as you may probably want to start doing this with at least 3 marches, maybe 4 days before the pre-stage actually starts. And it's definitely gonna help you, because again, I'm putting now the rewards for every single stage, for example, in KVK, and those rewards looks absolutely fantastic. And you're still gonna have 2 marches which you can do the Trojan horses, or do some rallies, or kill some tribes, or even play the Wonder event. So anyways, beautiful people, those are the tips and tricks when it comes down to how to prepare in the best way possible and get the massive upfront advantage for the gathering stage when it comes down to the Mightiest Governor, but also for the Mightiest Empire. If you like this video, yeah, let me know in the comments. If you find this video useful, why not maybe consider to support this channel by subscribing to it, by watching the videos, by sharing the channel with your friends. Thank you very much for watching, and I will gonna catch you in the next awesome episode. Ciao, ciao, ciao.